Hello there, this is Jack, and welcome to the Golden City Project. This is a project in City Skylines where I will plan and design a true city of the future based on a real location in Northeast Texas. I'll go into more details about that later. The city won't necessarily be futuristic looking, but rather it will use current technology to create a greener and more sustainable urban environment. The city's infrastructure will be heavily inspired by Dutch city infrastructure, where many people bike rather than drive, and I will try to design this city from a human perspective rather than the car's perspective, and with mixed zoning to promote trips by foot or bike. I'll try and find a balance between order and variety in the layout of the city in order to make it both aesthetically pleasing and comfortable to live in. Of course, there are many other things that I'll focus on, and I'll get to those in later episodes. If you are wondering what you're currently seeing in the video, those are some cinematics of the current status of the map. In this first introductory video to the project, I'll just be showing these cinematics, but in later episodes, I'll include a time-lapse of the episode's build. Also, in the next episode, I'll cover mods and assets that I'm using, as well as many other things, so stick around for that. If you want to see what mods I'm using right now, there's a link to that in the description below. Now that you know what is going on, I'll go over the topics that will be covered in this first episode. If you would like to skip to certain parts, just click the annotations or look in the description below. So the first topic is the city's design aspects and details, and what I want to incorporate into the overall urban plan. The second is its basis in reality, and how the city would theoretically grow from nothing to something, which leads to the third topic. How will this series progress? All of these topics will be lightly covered in this first episode, and in the following episodes I'll go over the details of certain topics with real-world examples from the research I've done. So basically, this first episode of the project is just an introduction to what I want to do with the project, where I want to go with it, and how you guys can help me design it. So now for the first topic, design aspects and details. First of all, I would like to present to you the starting road layout concept, using the golden spiral, the golden triangle, and 4 main points with 10 radials. This artistic tribute to math creates many converging points for city centers and specialized points of interest. At the 4 main points will be a main city center plaza, a college, a great mall/convention center, and maybe a large residential park. Other points of interest may be schools for basic education, parks, and plazas. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm aiming to create a greener and more sustainable city. Real-world problems such as urban sprawl, the heat island effect, high electrical consumption, traffic, flooding, pollution, and many other problems will be addressed. I'll talk about each of these problems and their respective solutions in the upcoming episodes. Some examples of basic solutions include permeable paver parking lots to combat flooding, pollution, and the heat island effect, green roofs and green walls to combat electrical consumption and the heat island effect again, efficient public transport and separated cycling infrastructure for traffic reduction, as well as improved mental and physical health of city residents. Here are some more planned functions for the city. Tram lines as well as bus routes and separated cycling infrastructure will run along the 4 outer boulevards that connect each main point. The Golden Spiral line will be a long, continuous strip of parks with major running and cycling trails for easy commute or recreational purposes. A major transport hub directly southeast of the Great Mall will connect people to the bus routes, tram routes, cycling routes, and a major train route for out-of-city connections. All zoning in the city will be mixed to promote commute by bike or foot, except for heavy industry. An industrial park will be located either north or south of Highway 80 to separate light, sound, and air pollution to a confined area. Tram, rail, and bus lines will of course connect workers to this area. Now for the city's basis in reality. Both the terrain and the starting roads are precisely where they are in real life. This location is in Northeast Texas, where a proposed lake site sits in Van Zandt County. As of now, there are no plans to build this proposed lake, but out of many, Lake Carl L. Estes sits in a pretty good position to be built. If you would like to read more about the lake, please look in the description below. By 2050, the Dallas Metroplex may need this lake built to expand its supply of water. Also by 2050, the Dallas Metroplex may have expanded out this far, and if not planned, would just end up being ugly and unsustainable urban sprawl. The current commute from Fruitvale to downtown Dallas is 1 hour, which is a nice selling point of the city. Not only is the commute tangible, but the land in the area is very nice as well. The common oak species of redwater and post oaks do very well in this area. In fact, these oak trees reach and even go beyond their expected heights. Pine trees also do very well in this area, but are not native and are generally unseen. The ground consists of a top layer of sand with decently stable clay underneath. The land is also not very rocky. This results in very good drainage and good conditions for building, far better than those a couple miles to the west. It doesn't really snow in this area, and summers generally reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. The current 2 towns on the map are Fruitvale, population 400, and Grand Saline, population 3,000. Grantsling is best known for its large salt mine, and despite its name, Fruitville doesn't grow a lot of fruit. In fact, there is hardly any fruits and vegetables grown in the area. These stats show that 50% of the farmland is used for livestock, and the other half is pretty much used to feed that livestock. As you can see, a lot of land is farmland, aside for the flood zones, which are typically heavily forested. Now that you have the general idea of what it's like in the area, I'll set the scenario. Let's say you are a very rich entrepreneur in the future, and you have already invested in many companies that employ thousands of workers. You are essentially Elon Musk in the 2030s. You have come across the proposed lake plan for that area and realize that to meet water demands, that lake will soon need to be built. Seeing that the average value of that specific farmland area hasn't gone up since 2017, staying at an average of $4,000 an acre, you buy up 36 square kilometers of land for just over $35 million, a nibble of your total worth. Deals and contracts with locals could potentially save even more money in the purchase of that land. And if you didn't want to buy all the land at once, you could just buy the important properties to lay out the essential road designs and to get started. I won't go into any more specific details in this episode regarding rough theoretical costs of the project, as those details can be covered in later episodes. So, you have this large chunk of land, you get the basic infrastructure built in certain areas, and lay out dirt roads for areas of later development. Soon following, the lake is built. Now, how are you going to get people to move to this city? This is where things get a bit tricky. You want to live to see your city of the future thriving, but you, Elon Musk, aren't immortal, just yet. My idea for rapidly getting people to move to the city is to move or expand large companies to the city's site. In the scenario as Elon Musk, you move some of your companies to the area and build residential and some commercial buildings to essentially start a work town, and from there, in stages, the city grows. And that leads to the last topic. How will this series progress? As for building the city in-game, it will be done in 3 or maybe more stages. The first stage being the basic infrastructure with newly built offices and residential housing. I will also build and detail lots of farmland, as in this scenario, while the land isn't ready to be developed, it is leased to farmers for capital gain. The second stage will probably occur when the population of the Golden City project reaches 5,000 or maybe 10,000. I'm not too sure exactly when, but the second stage is the point in which the city is large enough for the city to grow without your direct investment. During the second stage, I'll slowly expand the city, trying to simulate growth of real cities. The third stage will occur whenever I feel it's ready, because I don't know what the third stage requirements should be just yet. After the third stage, I might build the city in more stages regarding population, or I might stop when I feel the city is finished. I just don't know right now. That's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Please share, like, and subscribe if you want me to do this more frequently. Right now, I don't know how much of this project I'll get done before I go to college. At this pace, maybe 4 videos, but that's just because I don't know how to make these videos. That's the hardest part in this project, is making these damn videos interesting. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.